Party people, this is not my intro. No. Hi everybody, Samita here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in my dance studio and I do not have a tripod for today, so I'm just gonna hold my phone and try to look at you guys instead of looking at like me, because it's not a vlog, but technically it is a vlog. We're going to talk something important. I'll see if I can set you down somewhere because this is getting a little too close for comfort. Is this good? Is this good? I don't know if it's good because it's not enough lighting. I think we're gonna have to do with it. Or maybe I could go back. I think it's better. I'm not sure if it is. Hi, Samita here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're in my dance studio. I want to talk about something a little off topic from human design or astrology today. Today we're going to be talking about a sensitive topic a little bit. I'm fairly involved in the dance industry. I wouldn't say completely. I'm kind of carving out my own path, a path that's more holistic, a path that's kind of safer compared to being thrown into the middle of all the competitiveness that any industry does have. I'm going to address exactly that and talk about why I stress upon and emphasize upon this path for myself, as well as people who come to me, and make sure to let it be known that these are the values, these are the morals that I'm following, and I do not want to deviate anybody from, choosing paths that are more in alignment with what they are chasing. But I do want to bring to awareness a lot of toxic patterns, a lot of toxic notions that we normalize in order to improve the mental health among dancers in the industry, as well as people who are just doing it because they love it. One, I really want to emphasize on this point: all industries that involve the screen, right, all industries that involve you as a brand, involve you with your presence, your skills at the forefront, right? Whether it's the dance industry, the modeling industry, the entertainment industry, acting, whatever it is, these industries thrive off of your insecurities. They thrive off of you not being secure with yourself, right? That notion is subtly spread across in many different ways, including encouraging what is apparently called healthy competition. Let me tell you, there is a very thin line between healthy competition and unhealthy competition. And I would even go as far as saying that line does not exist, because once you have a competitive spirit with other people and not just yourself, there is a lot of toxicity involved, right? Because inherently, a competitive spirit with others automatically means that you need to be above or below somebody, which means that you've bought into the hierarchy. And the world functions in hierarchy being sold to you is pretty much the industry selling that to you, that it's a hierarchy, it's a race. Okay, these hierarchies exist in bubbles. They do not exist in the real world. They exist in bubbles, and they are believed in, and souls are sold to those hierarchies, especially by people who either benefit from those hierarchies or who are seeking to dominate those hierarchies in a way that allows their sense of self to be validated. Having a competitive spirit begins and ends with having a competitive spirit with yourself. Okay, and I know it's hard, and people say that it's hard because everybody competes, everybody compares. No, it doesn't have to be like that. It's about unwiring how you think and checking yourself every time you compare yourself to another person, another woman. It is very possible, very possible, to compete with past versions of you, who you were yesterday, who you were yesteryear, who you were last year, who you were a few months ago. And you can always measure based on setting goalposts for yourself. This is where I want to be tomorrow, and this is where I was yesterday. That's it. Okay, that's having a competitive spirit. The second you are competitive with other human beings, there goes your spirituality down the drain. Your sense of self is shaky. Okay, people who are very aggressively competitive are competitive in a way where it's like, I have to reach the top. First of all, there's room for everybody at the top. Okay, second of all, this whole need for hierarchy itself comes from having bought into the lie that's sold to you, that you're inherently unworthy unless you prove yourself. Having an excessive unhealthy competitive spirit is a direct reflection of low self-esteem, because you need to beat that person to feel good about yourself. You need proof from the external world so that you feel like you're satisfied with yourself, so you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm better than everybody else. Inherently, our self-worth does not come from where we stand with other people. This is a non-spiritual, anti-spiritual, anti-belonging notion that breeds discrimination on a scale, that breeds pettiness. We see a lot of westernization, right? A lot of these rap beefs, a lot of these notions about pitting women against each other. I don't think everybody realizes the gravity of how inherently disempowering it is to pit women against each other based on how much money they have, based on their looks, based on their uh, money bags, or based on their accessories, or their following, or their numbers, or their talents. I don't even look. Spirituality tells you that every human being is here for a purpose, and it breeds belonging, it breeds inspiration, breeds positivity, it breeds connection, right? We live in a society that's disempowering you from connecting to your spirit, that's disempowering you from connecting to the subtler aspects of your being, and that's isolating you from others, that's making your ego feel separate from others. And you don't realize that we're all interconnected, and you feel that sense of I'm superior. The second that happens, your deeper connection to yourself is gone, because connecting deeply to yourself means realizing that we're deeply connected to everybody by extension. Everybody is literally pieces of the same soul. Now, this may be a woo woo spiritual notion that does not exist in the material world, but let me tell you, existing in the material world is gonna cost you your soul if you're not aware of how the industries that you're involved in feed on your insecurities, and they feed on you feeling like you have to grab for something. You have to show them how bad you want it. You have to show somebody how much you want to succeed. You have to show somebody how much you want something. These are notions fed by people who benefit off of hierarchies, and who benefit off of needing people to be below them, or feeling above people. And that's not inherently the society you want to create for feminism, for safety, right? Because these notions feed a lot of discrimination, and these are not healthy notions. I believe that when you compete with yourself, you can go as far as you want to, further than anybody you think that you have to be better than or less than, whatever. But these are notions that you need to be aware of. People telling you having a competitive spirit is healthy is a lie. You are not going to get anything out of comparing yourself, especially girls, with other women. You are not going to get anything. You're just going to feed into pettiness. You're just going to feed into the part of you that's disconnected from you, the part of you that is going far away from integrity, authenticity, moral values. Yeah, it's not something you can rationalize, like, oh, you have to be this way to reach. What is the top? What is the top? You being your authentic, most healed, most integrated self, being most at peace with yourself, doing things that you love, succeeding, is what would be considered success. The idea of the top is a lie being sold to you. It's a sham. Some people dominate a dance space one day, 5 years later, younger people come around and dominate them. Some people dominate the space one day, the next day, there's someone better in the room. You are never going to reach any top unless you realize the top is a fun place for everybody to reach with you, right? You want to be someone who uplifts people with you and not compete with people around you. The need for excessive external competition validation is a deep sense of self-worth issues. I think it's time everybody starts recognizing the need for cultivating self-worth. I have videos about this on this channel. Cultivating self-worth independent of external circumstances, because the external world isn't always going to have your back. It's going to be shaky. Nobody can tell you who you are. You need to tell you who you are and set the tone for who you are. Only you can define you, not the external world. You, the second you start measuring yourself with other people's opinions, other people in general, it's a shaky road. Nobody knows you better than you. You need to have your back, and you need to compete with yourself and not anybody else. This is my unconventional opinion about competition in the dance industry. Maybe this is a short video, I don't know, but this is what I feel. The second you, as a dancer, if you're a dancer, if you feel like you're competing with somebody else, if you feel like you are measuring yourself with someone else, clock that, stop that in its tracks. Let's stop being like, let's be real, we all do it. No. Why do we all do it? No, I don't do it. Why do you all do it? Because it's fed to you as something that's normal. It is not normal to be pitted against other women. It is not normal to feel competitive with other women. For what are you competing against another queen? No. No, clock that right away. Your competitive spirit is a reflection of low self-worth. The only person you should be competing with is yourself. If you're competing with others in the room, check yourself, check your spirituality, check your authenticity, your integrity, your love, your grounding. Period. Also, jealousy as a feeling, emotion, things that we normalize are all Kali Yuga low energy emotions. Feeling jealousy, feeling comparison to other people, feeling like you don't belong and you're separate and you're higher, and feeding into separation through discrimination, through the need for hierarchy. All of these are signs of low prana lifestyles. These are signs of the flip side of your chakras being activated, because the heart chakra, I've talked about this before, the heart chakra breeds both love and jealousy, also fear. And if your heart chakra is not functioning properly, which means you don't have enough spiritual energy or prana in your life, you're going to be feeling things like jealousy. And the way to hack that is not to accept that it's a part of life and you just have to work with it and feel it and, operate off of it and conquer in the world. No, take your ass to a meditation camp or do some meditation, do some raising your prana, and you'll instantly feel like other people's wins are your wins and your journey is your journey, and you will not feel the need to compare yourself to other people. It is such a basic spiritual thing that if you're feeling like competing with people, you're feeling a disconnect from your spirit and yourself. And you need to meditate and raise your prana, because when you raise your prana, you will not have such notions. You will not feel jealousy, you will not feel comparison, right? It's all connected to spirituality at the end of the day. Nobody's saying don't play the game, but be aware about this when you're playing the game of like climbing any ladder in any industry, trying to get ahead. Yes, we all have low prana days where we feel that competition, but let it not become your personality. Let it not become the thing that you feed yourself all the time, because that is toxic in the long run. It's going to take away from your sense of self. It's going to take away from a lot of things. So thank you for watching this video. I will come back with more rants. This was basically a rant, but I thought it was important because I feel so protective of girls who come to me, students of mine, who feel like they are so low on some sort of scale that the world is set out for them. And I'm like, there is no scale, baby girl. That scale is being fed to you so that people who have started their journey before you, people who feel like they're higher up on the scale, can benefit from you feeling lower down the scale. You do not want to be a part of the scale. You are not on any scale. You are on your own path. You are on your own journey. I feel like every dancer should know this. Every person involved in every industry should know that people benefit from hierarchies, and hierarchies are not real in the real world, and you don't need to define your self-worth based on external hierarchies. They're so man-made. They are not natural. So yeah, I mean, if this is not how the world works, I don't care. I'm a human design manifester. I will carve a new world where there's a new world order, a different way of thinking, and that's what I'm trying to do. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the post notification so we can stay connected, and I will see you next time. Bye.